Hey guys, it's Review Hunter here, and this episode we are reviewing Saekano episode 3, and it's called Retake the Climax. This episode was off the chain. In fact, for this review, guys, I think I'm going to do something a little bit different. I think I'm going to cut in some of my reactions on some of the scenes that I'm going to be telling you guys about because I recorded my reaction to this episode. So yeah, here we go. This episode starts out with Tomoya sitting in his room talking to Megumi. At the end of this break, there's a deadline to meet for Golden Week, which is going to be a venue where they can show off this new game that he's trying to work on. Megumi and her family are on a vacation, I believe in Hokkaido, and Tomoya is really having a hard time getting motivated, and he doesn't know what to do. He's going back and forth in his mind. He's basically going through writer's block, and he's got all of these different things in his room, anime and manga, that are distracting him. So he's procrastinating the whole time while he's trying to get this workout. He finds out that Megumi can't come and be any kind of inspiration to him at the moment because she's on a family trip. So he just tries to do it on his own, and he heads off but fails epically every time. So what ends up happening is my girl Eri shows up, and she's wearing like a jogging suit, her hair's down, she's wearing glasses, and she's in his room drawing dojushin behind his back. He doesn't even know she's there. And if you guys don't know, dojushin in Japan is kind of like a freelance mangaka, and they make their own manga. Oftentimes, the manga is going to be really sexually charged, and it's going to pretty much be 18 plus only stuff. So it's crazy to see a young girl drawing this stuff. I really enjoy seeing Eri. I'm going to tell you the truth. I love tsundere characters, and this has got to be probably one of the best tsundere characters ever pulled off in this show. Team Eri. It doesn't stop there. Next thing you know, you hear the doorbell ring, and the person at the door is actually Utaha. Utaha is coming into Tomoya's room to talk to him and give him a boost or something to help him out of his slump so that he can get this story written. But Eri doesn't want Utaha to know that she's there because I guess that's embarrassing or something. So she hides in the closet. And like, I'm flipping out because you already know how Utaha is, and she's kind of overly, I guess, sensual to say. I do like her personality. She's very straightforward with the way she talks, and she's very honest, and her opinions are very valid. So she actually tries to discourage Tomoya from going through with his plans because she says that his life was pretty simple before, when all he had to do was worry about being a consumer in the field instead of trying to be a creator. But Tomoya convinces her that he's going to do something great, and she says, you know what, I'm going to support you if that's how you really feel about it. Utaha's finished talking to Tomoya. She leaves, but she doesn't do it before she lets him know that she knows that Eri is hiding somewhere in the apartment because she saw her bike parked outside, despite their best efforts to hide her presence by putting her things away and trying to hide the fact from Utaha. So the episode's almost over, and Tomoya has not gotten a chance to finish this script because he's basically been stonewalled all episode trying to figure out how or what he should write. So the next thing you know, he gets a phone call from Megumi, and she basically says to him, "What is it about me that appealed to you?" And then I kind of get taken back a bit because I'm like, man, this is actually going pretty hard right now. So I'm thinking, okay, Megumi seems like a carefree kind of person. You know, it doesn't seem like she's very interested in all of these, you know, developments over the last 2 episodes. But in this episode, this is the first time she's shown that she really wants to, that she's really interested in Tomoya as a character. And I just think it's absolutely adorable. I just like good writing. Tomoya comes back at her and says, well, really everything about you is I found interesting. And he goes further to explain that it's not necessarily that I want you to become more hyper and more, you know, zealous, I guess, because he's already got plenty of that in Iruri and Utaha. So basically, she said she's going to figure it out on her own. Tomoya is in a dry spell. He cannot figure out what he needs to write next. So what he ends up doing is going back to the spot where he met Megumi, and he sits there waiting for, you know, looking at the hill, basically trying to figure out some kind of inspiration. You know, maybe going back to the scene where he was first inspired, he'll get something. And so you start to see a character walk up wearing this very cute, you know, typical moe anime outfit, and take off a white hat and twirl it around and toss it into Tomoya's view. And as that hat comes through his view, the animation style switches up, and the colors seem a lot darker, and the lining of the characters is blue, kind of opposite of what we saw in No Game No Life. And I just think the animation was absolutely stunning at that point. And you see cherry blossoms blowing and everything like that. And you look up and you see Megumi dressed in an anime-like costume, and her accent and everything she says is completely different. She is acting the part of a moe main character heroine, and she is blowing Tomoya's socks off. She is blowing my socks off. She completely wins his heart, and he's like, where have you been? And she drops a few lines like, is this how the main heroine would act? Is this what a main heroine would say? Would a main heroine fall in love like this? And I was done. At first, I thought that she was confessing her love to him and that she'd gone out of her way to try to make herself fit the part. But she later goes on to explain that she got the help of Eriri and Utaha in coming up with a script and helping her practice the parts. And she also got a costume designed and altered to be specifically the kind of thing that Tomoya would enjoy. And that motivates him enough to walk off and go with Megumi and write the script, and they're going to be working on that all night because now they've waited until the deadline. And at the end, you see Eriri and Utaha standing there watching this happening from afar and having a dialogue with each other. They're both upset about the fact that they aren't the ones seeming to be the main heroine in Tomoya's harem. Utaha says to Eriri that one day your tsundere act is going to cause you to be regretful because you can't be honest about how you feel. She says it's too late, I already kind of feel that. And that's how this episode ends. Guys, this anime is going hard. I'm telling you, if you enjoy a good, written, well-out comedy, but if you're into something good, you should be watching this anime. This is Review Hunter, signing off.